1985 began with the return of the Macho Man. In January, Hector Camacho entered the ring after an 8-month layoff due to managerial and rumored drug problems. Camacho showed very little ring rust as he celebrated the new year with a TKO in the 5th round over a game Louis Burke. In Birmingham, England, welterweight champion Donald Curry also found reason to celebrate. His 4th-round TKO over hometown favorite Colin Jones showed the world that Curry was king of the WBA and the IBF. February brought the rematch in Reno. WBA lightweight champion Livingstone Bramble defended the crown he lifted from Ray Mancini just 8 months earlier. It was a fight to the finish. Up for grabs.
I would hate to be a judge.
And they will end it the way they started it. It's over. Listen to the crowd. Bramble kept the WBA title. Mancini would never be the same again. It was just a matter of time before he would heed the wishes of loved ones.
He's his own man. It's his decision. But if it's up to me, I'd tell him to forget about it.
March blew in with chilling news about 3 of the greatest Latin fighters. It was rumored Duran was broke, as well as former champions Wilfred Benitez and Alexis Arguello. There were also rumors of attempted comebacks. The man who sent Arguello into retirement, Aaron Pryor, was back with his 2nd fight in 2 years. He defended his IBF junior welterweight title over Gary Hinton, but soon after, the boxing world would ask, was this the Hawk's last fight? Larry Holmes claimed that this fight against David Bay would be his last, and with the TKO in the 10th, Holmes stood by his claim that this was it, with one exception.
This is it, means I retire. If I don't get an offer from Michael Spinks by end of April, I retire.
April was marked by what has been called 1985's greatest fight. Marvelous Marvin Hagler put his undisputed middleweight crown on the line against Thomas Hitman Hearns.
At all times. Shake hands and good luck to both of you.
Hearns working that jab. He has a very quick jab. There's no denying. And he caught Hagler with 2 good jabs and a right hand that might have hurt Hagler. Tremendous pace in the 1st round.
In Hagler's own words, this was war, and he went to work when he had to. Hearns quickly found out the marvelous one was no April Fool. This 3rd-round TKO was no contest. IBF lightweight champion Harry Arroyo was fooled by the ability of challenger Jimmy Paul. Arroyo was knocked down 3 times, and Paul walked away with a unanimous decision and the lightweight crown. The WBA heavyweight crown also changed hands. In his first defense since winning the title from Jerry Coetzee, Greg Page lost it to Tony Tubbs. Confusion in the heavyweight division continued. May brought Larry Holmes back to the ring.
48-0, Big Daddy.
But Big Daddy wasn't facing Spinks. Instead, it was Carl Williams. The 2 heavyweights battled it out for 15 rounds. The young Williams hurt the older Holmes. And although he kept his title, the truth was that Larry had seen better days, and it was written all over his face. And since Jerry Cooney fought less than 10 rounds in 36 months, it seems he came out of retirement to retire. In San Juan, WBA junior lightweight champion Rocky Lockridge retired too soon. Wilfredo Gomez snatched his title, proving that in order to beat a hometown boxer, you got to knock him out. For Gomez, it was title number 3. In June, Barry McGuigan was looking for title number 1. With Dad's rendition of Danny Boy, the hometown hero went to work, and his job was to capture the WBA featherweight title from Eusebio Pedroza. After 15 rounds, boxing's fastest rising star had dethroned boxing's longest reigning champion with all the emotion of a fairy tale come true. June also brought the first title defense for WBC heavyweight champion Pinklon Thomas. Former heavyweight champion Mike Weaver was knocked down in round 1, and Thomas retained his crown. And it took 8 rounds for light heavyweight champion Michael Spinks to TKO Jim McDonald. Spinks continued to dominate his weight class and made no secret of his intentions to move up and challenge Larry Holmes.
I go out in Easton and stage a ride all over the place saying that we want Larry Holmes.
A man wanted by the police surfaced in July. Roberto Medina, a.k.a. John E. Garcia, was recognized by a rose tattoo on his chest when he fought gold medalist Meldrick Taylor. Medina lost not only the fight, but his freedom as well. On that same night, Pernell Whitaker TKO'd John Senegal. Evander Holyfield defeated Tyrone Booz. And Mark Breland TKO'd Don Shiner. In Monte Carlo, WBC welterweight champion Milton McCrory took on #1 contender Carlos Trujillo. For McCrory fans, the odds were stacked in his favor, and he quickly paid off as he put Trujillo away in 3. The unification fight was just a matter of time. In August, it was macho time again, as Hector Camacho tried to capture his second world title. Champion Jose Luis Ramirez was dazzled for 12 rounds by the flashy contender and was knocked down in the 3rd.
There's a good left hand, and down goes Ramirez.
Camacho's glitter continued to sparkle, but hopes were doused of a Mancini confrontation when Ray decided to quit. And a match with Aaron Pryor was also never to be. Pryor's drug-related activities outside the ring proved to be his eventual undoing. He had become his own worst enemy. And in August, it was confirmed that Arguello was again putting on the gloves.
I'm ready and I'm willing to do it, and let's see how far I can go.
A flamboyant Lonnie Smith knocked down champion Billy Costello 5 times. In an 8th-round knockout, Smith claimed the WBC's super lightweight title and sent Costello into retirement, at least for 1985. In September, Michael Spinks finally made a heavyweight out of himself. And Larry Holmes was on hand to meet his challenge. Both fighters hoped to make history. Spinks was trying to become the first light heavyweight to capture the heavyweight crown, while Holmes was chasing the legend of Rocky Marciano.
For the winner, and new IBF.
Realizing that immortality had eluded him, a disappointed Holmes disappointed his fans.
I mean, if you really want to get technical about the whole thing, Rocky couldn't carry my jockstrap.
In October, WBC featherweight champion Azuma Nelson of Ghana got one step closer to a unification fight with WBA champion Barry McGuigan when he delivered a devastating uppercut to knock out England's Pat Cowdell in the opening round. Meanwhile, Marvelous Marvin Hagler claimed injury and backed out of his fight with John Mugabe. In November, all the boxing news came from out of the ring. Don King praised America as he was absolved of any wrongdoing in the tax charges brought against him. And after nearly 2 decades in prison, former middleweight Reuben Hurricane Carter was freed from a New Jersey jail. Sadly, though, the boxing world mourned the passing of Cus D'Amato. Which brings us to December and tonight's unification bout between Donald Curry and Milton McCrory. And